All right, we are live, and Robbie is freaking me out as usual.
I'm just doing my own thing.
What the fuck, man? Are you like squeezing some like ghost girls? All right, we are live, and Robbie is freaking me out as usual.
Or it could be a ghost bitch's ass.
What the fuck, man?
One or the other.
Oh my god, I got like 3 different versions of Twitch screaming in my ear. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Beastly Thoughts. Hello, chat. Hello, Beastly. Hello, Robbie.
What's happening?
Slightly uncomfortable with Robbie right now. Again.
What else is new? What else is
new? Plan as I hoped, but well.
Guys, now I don't know for sure. Are we in episode? What episode is this, Robbie? 137.
137, I believe.
137, guys. This is the last episode of Beastly Thoughts of 2016. This is the very last episode of the. I know people are like, "What are you?" No, not the last episode. Last episode of the year, guys. We won't be back next week. As you guys may or may not notice, next week is a pretty important week when it comes to family time. And yes. So
got my festival poll up. We're gonna wrap it. Take the trials of manhood on Sunday. I feel like I got a good chance of taking it against these two 15-year-olds. Unless they decide to team up, then
you probably do. If you
been working out, been eating more.
Yeah. Those like counteract one another, but okay. Sounds good. I'm really looking forward to the show, guys. It's been a great week for me. When I don't think about work, it's been a great week. I really missed you guys. It's weighing heavy on my heart that after today's episode, we won't be back together until 2017, but that's kind of a celebration too. 2017, It's going to be a great new year. Lots of new games coming out.
Good riddance 2016.
Good riddance. It's been an insane year.
A lot of horrible shit has happened.
2016. I've seen lots and lots of friends become enemies over some of the situations that have occurred in 2016. So I'm looking forward to all this stuff being behind us and pressing forward with a wonderful new year. With that being said, welcome to the show, guys. And I guess we're going to get into what we've been playing. Robbie, would you like to tell us what you've been playing this week?
Absolutely. So one of the games I cannot stop playing right now because I'm having so much fun with it is Dark Souls 3. That game gets harder and frickin' harder as you go on, but it's very fun with friends. Man, I gotta tell you guys, if I didn't have my friends with me, holy shit, I'd not get this far. But the game is hard as shit. It's a ton of fun. I mean, yeah, it's Dark Souls. You've probably played it before. You probably love it. Maybe you hate it.
Quick question. I played a little bit of Dark Souls 3. I got it for me and my wife. Mm-hmm. I beat the first boss and stepped away. Because there were so many other things going on. It's one of those situations, right, that I don't know exactly what it was. I can't really, rub the crystal ball and see exactly what situation created this occurrence. But I wanted to get into Dark Souls 3 immediately because it was the next thing for me following Bloodborne. I'll definitely do it. But how does it stack up to you in comparison to Bloodborne? I love Bloodborne. My brother just got his PS4 Pro, first PlayStation 4. Might I say, fucking Joe. First PlayStation 4, and he got the Pro.
Just now he got the first... Oh, we got the Pro.
Yes. Yeah, this is the very first one he's ever had.
He's looking kind of sexy tonight.
And he got the fucking PlayStation VR like a week later. I was like,
Joe has made a turn.
Yes. I don't know what's going on. But like all within 1 week, he had better shit than me. And I was, for the last 3 years, I was talking shit about him. I said, put the Super Nintendo away.
Fucking it up, Beastly.
I don't know what's going on.
Not living up to your legacy.
But Joe's
can't live up to your brother. So Joe is just showing you up.
Hey, look, I was never allowed in the front seat anyway, okay? So just let him keep it. Fuck.
Joe's still up in that front seat laughing at you. Right? Laughing at you. Making faces at you in the rearview mirror. Stop.
How did we get to this?
I don't know why Dad would let me in the front seat. I don't know what kind of hierarchy shit this was. God damn it. Anyway, look, Joe's favorite game has been Bloodborne. He's gotten quite a few now, including The Last of Us. And he said Bloodborne is probably one of the greatest games he ever played in his life. He said it's to him the spiritual successor to games like Castlevania, which of course he'd always borrow my Super Nintendo to play Super Castlevania. How does Dark Souls 3 stack up to Bloodborne in your opinion, Robbie?
Well,
I've heard that they've taken some things from Bloodborne and actually kind of shoehorn them into the Souls series as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, is that Dark Souls 3, I think, is the first Dark Souls that really takes influence from Bloodborne. It is a little bit darker. I think it is definitely darker in tone. It's still fantasy. You still have knights and dragons and all that, but it definitely does feel a little bit more like Bloodborne, of course, because that was the last game they had made. But yeah, I mean, it feels similar, but it's not, there's still different enough games where it's not like it's exactly the same. I mean, I love both games. I think it stacks up and holds up very well.
So has Dark Souls 3 been taking up all your time? Has there been any little side hoes in your life?
I mean, mostly because my friends have been bugging me so much to come play it with them. Like, they're getting hardcore into Dark Souls. They're almost at the very end of the game. Side hoe jokes. Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, it's the end of the year. I'm going to start this shit early. Okay?
Right?
I'm sorry.
We're gonna make this whole show the last 15 minutes of every other show.
Yeah.
The most dick jokes we've ever had in 1 hour.
Yeah. We're gonna set a new record. New record on Twitch.
I mean, I was thinking about something. A lot of the shows that we do, you guys have a cold one, a beer. And I always feel like my dick is shrinking every time I see you guys take a nice cold swig of that sweet nectar of the gods and I pull up a bottle of water. And so I told my wife that I'm going to start buying beer. Even though I don't drink, I'm going to start buying Old Duels. Mm-hmm. It tastes like beer. And I'll feel like a man. Yeah, I'll feel, because it's rough.
You might look like a man drinking a beer, but inside you'll know that you're inadequate not drinking beer.
It's not real. Yeah,
near beer.
I mean, it's rough. If I'm feeling bad when Robbie's drinking a beer and he just got old enough to drink one, holy shit! But
I used to do. I used to drink that stuff all the time. I used to go to the bars, and if I was the designated driver, I'd still want to drink, right? But you can't drink. You're a designated driver, so I drink near beer all night. It was nice. It was fine. Like, I didn't really know the difference. I still had fun anyway. But for some reason, just drinking non-alcoholic beer was enough of a replacement as opposed to just drinking water or soda or something all night.
You got that right.
It's just enough.
Now, see, I drank. Yeah. I used to be a big drinker, and I quit drinking in 2010. And that year, after 2010, all through 2011, I would go and buy Old Duels. I'd buy the bottle, the cans, whatever the situation was. We had family gatherings. People were getting shit-faced. And I'd come in there with a case of Old Duels. And I'd crack those bitches and I'd kill them. And there was one situation that actually stopped me from buying Old Duels. I thought I was doing society a favor. I saw a young guy standing in front of the corner store by my house. He looked like he was 14. He had a Black and Mild in his hand. I used to smoke too. And he was smoking a Black and Mild. He looked like he came from middle school. And I walked up to him and said, "Hey, man," I said, you shouldn't smoke. I said, especially when you're so young, you're going to become dependent on it. And years later, you're going to really wish that you didn't. And he looked at me like, he said, "What do you mean? I'm old enough to smoke." I said, "No, you're not." And I was sure I was right.
Yeah.
And I swear it was like it was choreographed. He reached in his pocket like he was doing a card trick. He pulled out the right card immediately. It was his ID. He said, "Look, man, I'm 18. He handed me his ID and he was 18. And I looked at it. There was nothing else I could say. And then he looked at my hand. He said, "Why are you buying fake beer?" And that was
checkmate. Damn, man. Wow.
That was the last case of Old Duels I ever bought.
So basically, as you get older, have you noticed that kids look younger to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was 15, I felt like I was an adult. Yeah. I couldn't do things adult could do. I was still lorded over by the administration of adulthood that seemed so unfair to me because I didn't understand that they had my best interest at heart.
Yes.
But at the time, like, I felt like almost an adult. Even at 18, like, really, I felt like an absolute adult. Like, my body felt like an adult. I didn't act like an adult by any means. I still don't.
I can relate to that. Being 20 years old, yeah.
Got that right.
Yeah. But, like, when I saw other people of my age group, like, they looked old to me, right? But now when I look at, like, an 18-year-old or a 15-year-old, with some exceptions, some people look younger, some people look older, right?
Look older, yeah.
I'm like, I was never that young.
Yeah.
I never looked like that. When I was 15, I don't want to say what I was doing.
Yeah. Let's not.
It was probably illegal.
Yeah.
And, like, I can't imagine. I don't know. It's weird.
One day you're gonna have to share some pictures with me, and I promise I won't put them on the internet.
I mean, take it from me. I'm 20 years old, and I look like I'm 13. So
yeah.
At
Also,
least
when I
you
was
finally
16, I
admitted
had
it.
a beard,
Thank
so
Yeah,
that was
I
a
just
thing.
admitted it.
I
Although-
don't know if Robbie actually has a beard because he told me that sometimes he rubs super glue down here and goes does this on girls' body parts. So I don't know what's going on. But go ahead, Brian.
What the fuck?
I remember being in high school and looking at yearbooks from like way in the past, like the 70s. And like these dudes are rocking like mutton chops and, hair down to their shoulders. And I'm like, damn, those dudes look old. So I wonder, maybe just the miracle of modern science makes people look younger for longer.
It's in the food. My dad showed me his yearbook. Some of those fucking guys look older than the teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys had full beards. I'm talking like 17 years old. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I had to be in my 20s before I could feel adequate about my beard. These guys.
I can't really grow a full beard yet, so don't worry.
I could grow a beard in high school. And I found it annoying because I just didn't like shaving.
Oh, you know what? I started growing one in high school, and my teachers thought that it was offensive. That's when the politically correct, environment, I guess, became more prevalent. Some of the other kids are saying you need to shave it, and teachers are saying you need to shave it.
Why?
Some of my teachers.
How is a beard offensive?
Ask Miss Blumenthaler.
I
threw up on her desk too.
Well, that's offensive.
Yes,
that's the offensive part where that comes in. Yeah.
Maybe you just still had some puke in your beard. You need to shave that, man. Like,
the hell is that smell?
This isn't a good look for you.
So, last week.
Oh, you went mute.
Am I back? I think.
Yeah, that fixed it. Yep.
You're back.
So, last week, Briar, you mentioned to me about a game I was playing that I was having a lot of fun with, The Last Guardian, some of the issues that you've heard from people regarding whether or not this game is good or bad. I ran into one of these situations, and it infuriated me so much that I haven't played the game since.
Really? What can you tell me a little bit about the situation without being too spoiler?
Well, I told Trigo to do something. He just said, "Fuck you, guy." Well, basically, that's basically
English too.
Yeah. So there's this one portion of the game where Trico has to go up, just straight vertical, jump after jump after jump. And I got to this section of the game, and this was last week. No, it was this week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And there's this one portion where you get to a particular jump, and there's a ledge right there. It's right there. Not like it's 50 yards away. It's probably 20 yards. It's right there.
It's not like one of those ones where I think I can make it.
No, it's not. It's not one of the ones where I think I can. It's one like I know I can. I can almost reach it.
It's one of those ones Mario could just run right over, right?
Yeah. And so I'm on top of this damn thing, and I'm telling him to jump, and I'm doing all the motions, telling him to jump. And Kate's watching with me. And part of the reason I feel like I haven't played is because I had a witness to this shit. I can't really save face. She was right next to me, and I'm telling him to jump. And I swear to you, he turned around and jumped all the way down every single jump. To the bottom, okay? To the very bottom. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, and I don't know if it's totally a great game-breaking situation, but it was the immersion-breaking thing for me. He jumped. It had to be 7 jumps, at least. I was at the very top. And so I was telling him to jump, and he turned around on his own, and I was on him. I was like, oh, it must be another jump over here somewhere. And he looked down and started jumping down. And I'm still telling him to jump. I'm trying so hard, told him to jump up. I'm like, up. And so he looked down again, jumped down all the way to the very bottom of this cabin. And so it was super frustrating because the next portion of the game, he does all the jumps up by himself. So you don't really have to make him do anything. So he got to the bottom and stood there. And I was like, what the fuck did you just do? And so I just jumped. I jumped back on him, and then he looked up and jumped all the way back up. Took about another 7 or 8 minutes of me up top, hoping that he's not going to turn around and jump all the way back down into this castle. And then he finally looked at the ledge that was right in front of us and jumped on it. And I turned my PlayStation 4 off.
Save.
Yeah.
Done with this shit for tonight, man. Yeah.
It was really frustrating. But other than that, I know you told me that you've heard of people having situations like this. And at that point, I hadn't. And since last week, I probably put another 2 or 3 hours in. I really love what they've done with the game. But I feel like there needs to be possibly some patches in situations like that. But another game has come along and kind of saved me. A game that I bought, I think, a week and a half ago during the flash sale that is by far the worst looking PlayStation 4 game I've ever played. but my wife and I are having a blast playing it. Have you guys ever heard of a game called 7 Days to Die?
Yes.
7 Days to Die is a survival. It's a survival simulator that is set in a dystopian future, run amok by zombies. And for some reason, there's lava on one side of the road and rain, and on the other side it's like a desert and cactuses. I don't know how they created this world, but it's if you look at it just as the visual aesthetic, no one would ever want to play it. It's very similar in playstyle to Minecraft. Anything that you see in the world, you can actually break down and you can basically harvest materials from it. Cars, bushes, blocks, buildings, books, anything you see, you can use, an axe or something to break it down and take its bare elements to create other things. And after a certain amount of days, these waves and hordes of zombies come after you. And so basically you have 7 days to prepare yourself and your team, whoever's with you, unless you're doing it alone. You go out into the world, you destroy trees, you get all this wood, you can create, all these defense mechanisms like poles sticking out of the ground that stab zombies when they run into them, and you can build walls and basically build an entire fortress over this period.
We're going to build a wall.
Absolutely, we are. And so, shut the hell up. He's going to bring that. This is the last show of the year.
I don't want to talk about politics. No, let's move on.
But there's so much you can do, and you do have to stay alive. You have to stay hydrated. You have to stay fed. There's animals walking around the world. You can, create bows and arrows, axes, any type of, pretty much anything you can think of to stay alive. There's water in the world.
Some bitch bombs.
Robbie, stop interrupting him.
There's rivers, and you can go into the rivers. Like if you find empty jars and fill the jars with, kind of dirty water, that you could take this to a campfire and you can clean the water. You can boil the water. You can drink it and stay safe. You can cook your food. You can eat it raw, but of course you're going to get sick. There's so many different elements to this game. But now, Kate and I just survived our 7th day. And it was like The Walking Dead, the show. It was like so many zombies coming from every direction. And at this point, we had basically, I built a bootleg ass-saving contraption, which is basically we were out in the open.
What?
Okay? Let me explain. We were out in the open, and I harvested thousands of pieces of wood. And I used this wood to create these pillars that stick out of the ground. They're like arrows made out of wood, and if zombies run into them, after a while, it'll kill the zombie. They'll fall to the ground, and they keep trying to crawl through it. It'll kill them totally. So I made like 600 of those. And I created a huge perimeter, and then I basically built a wall with a ladder on it. And at the very top of that wall, I made like this huge pedestal with all of our stuff, and we could shoot them with bows and arrows as they tried to make it through this barrier that I created, this defensive wall. But it was so much fun to do. Every time you die, just like I'm trying to think, I think it's called Zombie or Zombie U. Every time that you die in this game, the backpack that you have is left at that location. And you respawn, you have to go back. You can choose to go back and get it, or you can just start fresh.
Are the zombies still there if you go back to get it?
They will be moving around. They don't leave. They'll lose interest. Like if they smell you, you can actually set the options. And if they smell you or if they hear you, they can stay interested for up to 3 minutes. Like outside of a door or outside of a window, or they'll keep trying to break through the door or the window to get you. And so they'll stay there, but by the time you get back to your bag, usually they'll mosey off down a hall or into another room. But it's a lot of fun. It looks like shit. It
looks like shit. Let me ask you a few questions because I'm actually really interested in this game. I've never played it. If you do you not see any zombies for the first 7 days? You have all that time to build. You'll see them come in eventually.
You'll see there's zombies sporadically placed throughout the world. It's there's 2 modes that you could. There's more than 2 modes, but there's a world that's already been pre-made by the developers, and you can choose to have a world completely made randomly on the fly when you start the game. So one of them is one that's made with kind of missions and things that you can do, and it gives you tutorials how to build things. The other one is just randomly generated. But in these generated worlds, there are zombies everywhere. Basically, if you go down the street and you go to a populated area like a neighborhood, you're going to see zombies in houses and walking across the street. And I found a huge industrial park. There's zombies everywhere. There's zombie dogs. I think they took the zombie dogs from the original Resident Evil 1.
So is the goal of the game to last 7 days?
I thought it was, but I'm on day 9 now. So now it's just getting harder and harder.
Doesn't make sense.
You won 2 days ago.
Yeah, I won 2 days. I wish it was that easy. I didn't know. Today, Kate and I, we just beat the 7th day today. And after we beat it, we thought it was going to say you survived and just start over. But apparently, as the days go on, shit gets harder and it gets more real.
Okay.
You're getting more and more waves of enemies. They're faster. They're more aggressive. And
how long does like a gameplay loop take? Like in real time hours?
Each day is 24 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it takes a couple hours for you to get all the way to the 7th day and succeed through it. It's much better if you have people to play with. I think this game would probably not be nearly as fun if you had to do everything on your own. But I'm very interested in it because everything that you can create, unless there's a secret recipe that I don't know about, but everything you can create and you can craft is right there for you to see. Tells you everything you need to get, how you can make it. And so it's very interesting. I mean, if I didn't have all this at my disposal, I'd probably be really frustrated, but it's all baked into the menus and the UI. So if there's something you need to make and you've got a lot of stuff, in your inventory, you can go right to the crafting menu, see what you can make, and there's always something you can make. There's always a weapon you can make. There's always bows. There's all torches. You can make campfires and cook your food and do all kinds of stuff with campfires and staying warm because you can catch hypothermia. It's just a lot of really neat gameplay mechanics that they've included in this game. I just wish that they had someone with more of a visual flair behind the artistic side of the game, because it does feel like Minecraft's retarded step cousin the way it looks. It just looks like crap. And that's the thing. It doesn't look...
Talking some mad shit all of a sudden here.
I'm just being real. Minecraft looks great for what it is, and this game is just maybe a step or two above Minecraft as far as the way the game is presented. It looks very similar to me, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. I didn't think I would have this much fun with it. A few days ago, I turned it on. It was really late, and I just wanted to see the intro and see what it was all about, and Kate was watching it with me, and I turned it right off, and we played it last night. She got up this morning, and she said, "Are you going to make a whole bunch of videos right now?" I said, "I don't know. What do you want to do?" Because my wife's pregnant. She's very pregnant, and I don't want to piss her off. She said, "Well, I want to play that game with you too." So we've been playing that all day. And it's been a while since she wanted to just sit down and play a game. She's really liking it, and so am I. It's a lot of fun.
That's nice when that happens. That's real cool.
It is. For sure.
Got to be pretty dope, man. Having a wife
so there's
with
only one host of the Beastly Thoughts Show that hasn't divulged what he's been getting into this week as far as gaming, and his name is Briar the Rabbit. What have you been playing this week, Briar?
Well, I'm on part 2, or I'm on internet connectivity issues 2.
Oh, wow.
More internet connectivity issues.
Continuing, playing through it.
Yeah, basically all week I spent most of my week, I'd say it was like a 40-hour a week job, or a 40-hour job, basically trying to get my internet up and running. It was terrible. It ended up being the line that runs from the line that runs from the house to the pole. So I got that swapped out, and it looks like it's good now. So I spent a lot of time doing that, which kept me away from The Witcher, which I'm really addicted to right now, which is like that game. I'm loving that game right now. As I've gotten deeper into that game, like I really appreciate what it does, and I love how it's this huge, expansive thing, but it really does deliver itself in these bite-sized chunks that are really digestible and easy for me to sit down. If I got 20 minutes to kill, I could really sit down and run like a side quest in Witcher and feel like
it's a self-contained thing, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've accomplished something, and it's fun. Also, The Dawning in Destiny came out last week, and I've been really enjoying that quite a bit. It's obviously the Sparrow Racing League is out now. That's pretty fun. Take it or leave it. I suck at it. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. I'm actually usually pretty good at driving games, But with this game, I don't know. I am completely inept. So that leads to some frustration. But they also added in this strike scoring system, which I actually really enjoy, because as you do strikes now, you get scored basically for performance. Like as you get kills with weapons, if you get consecutive kills with the same weapon, all sorts of different things you can do. You get scores. And that actually has led to a little bit of enjoyment in the game. Also, if you do a Nightfall now, there's like a 30-minute timer counting down, which adds a little bit.
No.
Yeah, it
Oh,
adds a
man.
little bit of pressure when you're doing the Nightfall. This week it wasn't too hard, but I can imagine certain weeks it could be very difficult. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been Destiny and trying to get internet working out, and it seems like the internet is up and running.
Knock on some wood. I'll knock on some wood for you.
Because I don't know if you remember, this time last week it was running fine. And then on Monday morning, it completely shit the bed. Like it was just, I was getting like DSL, or not DSL, I was getting like 56K speeds. It was like that bad. It was old school shitty.
Do you even know what that is, Robbie?
No, but I just laughed at it anyways.
Yeah.
It was slow. That's what I'm saying. It was like
I
real
just know
slow.
it's slow as hell. I don't know how slow, but that's slow.
It was so slow that it was like in and out, right? So it's like sometimes it would be like 1 megabit per second up, and the next second it would be flatline nothing.
Wow.
Oh my god,
yeah, so
that
it's terrible.
is
So
bad.
we got it fixed up. Hopefully that was the issue. It might have been a coincidence. I'm not sure, but hopefully moving forward, we can get back into some gaming. I really want to play some of the games I've missed over the last few months.
Can I say something? Now, I was going to ask you about this, and it's really, to me, it's very interesting because I feel like you and I share this. We have this deep, dark, ugly demon in our closet that we both have a ton of games. A lot of people don't know you have a shit ton of games. Just because you play Destiny doesn't mean that you don't buy the newest stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And with you playing The Witcher, which came out in 2015, which is Game of the Year and highly praised by gamers and critics alike, now you're finally experiencing it and seeing how awesome it is. I played a few hours of it, probably less than you at this point.
I've got about 50 hours in.
Oh yeah, you're there. How does it make you feel about some of the other games that you have? Because it's like I have a ton of games in there that I've never even really given a chance, and quite a few of them have been very, very highly praised. And it's like, when you see what you're seeing now with The Witcher, it kind of makes you wish that you had got into it sooner so you can experience it. Like right when everybody
been part
else
of the
is going
conversation
crazy.
as it was happening. Yeah,
Because now you got to go to a forum that no one's going to respond to anymore.
Yeah, that's true, and I've
it's-
done that too. Yeah,
you had to wait for 2 days and say, "Oh, we thought this thread was dead. Let us tell you why." I mean, one of those situations, and I feel the same way. I feel like I wish I had the time right when the game came out to get into it. But it's like that scene from Ghostbusters 2. When the Titanic rolled into town and Cheech looked out and said, better late than never, because at least you get to experience it.
Yeah,
and
for
yes,
sure.
That was a very old school throwback to a film that probably no one knows about.
I know.
But of course,
Wait, what film?
Bobby Brown was in that movie. But
Really?
yes, yeah, he sang the theme
What
song.
movie was that?
It's called Ghostbusters 2. And it was a lot worse than the first film, but infinitely better than the reboot. But yeah, I'm hopefully I find time, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same way, to get back into some of these games that we spent our hard-earned dollars on, that are kind of sitting on the shelf or sitting in the hard drive. Like, why are you neglecting me? What have I ever done to you?
Well, I haven't even bought Gears of War 4 yet, and I really want to play that. I haven't bought Battlefield 1 yet. I really want to play that. Like, there's a bunch of games that I just want to play. I haven't got a chance to. So,
well,
I gotta figure out a way to fit it into my schedule.
And that's the hard part. And I'll tell you like this: you have a much more densely packed schedule than I do, because you do a lot more stuff online. You do a lot of streaming. You're constantly uploading videos. You're very, very busy. I'm busy too with work and family and YouTube. But I'll make a pledge. When you get ready to buy these games, let me know. I haven't gotten Gears of War 4 either, and that's something I really want to play. I heard great things about that game's campaign too. And Battlefield 1, even though I'm not a big Battlefield fan, I do want to try. Everybody's saying so much about this game.
I love
Everybody
Battlefield 1.
is saying. I mean, even
that game.
people who never really got into Battlefield, like, it's the best shooter I played all year.
Like me. Yep.
Robbie, we're
here.
talking. Listen, we're talking American exceptionalism. So we're not gonna accept your. I'm just kidding, Robbie. You too. A lot of people have been saying that Battlefield 1, it's an amazing game, and I feel like I owe it to myself to play it that way, that I can give it my own opinion versus saying that I'm just not a Battlefield fan. Because in essence, Star Wars Battlefront is a Battlefield game. It's made on the same engine. It's very similar in the way it controls.
Yeah.
And I really like that game. So, Battlefield 1 could actually be a game that I truly enjoy. So, Just let me know, Briar. Hit me on Twitter or something. Let me know. Beastly, I'm about to throw down $100 on this shit. Go buy yours, brother. And then
We still haven't played that. We were talking before the stream about that VR game that we both wanted to jump into.
Yeah, it's called God damn it, Village of It's werewolves in PlayStation VR. I'm going to find the title of this game now, but it's a particular game that Briar and I have been looking at, and we talked about it last week, and we were both supposed to buy it this week. Unsurprisingly, neither of us remembered to do it.
In news that shocked nobody.
Yeah, my brother actually came over last night. He brought his wife, and she wanted to play PlayStation VR, and it's called Werewolf Within. Yep. And she played PlayStation VR for about an hour and a half, and she didn't take the damn thing off. And she was dancing. She went to a concert and saw a Japanese cartoon do a concert. She was playing, I guess it's like tennis, but you use your head in VR. I know you've played that before. You've at least seen it.
Yeah.
And she tried the Resident Evil kitchen demo and a whole bunch of other stuff. And she said, wow, this is really amazing. And I was talking to my brother about Werewolf Within. And basically, it's an online-only game where you get in a group of about 6 or 7 people, and these are all real people. You embody this cartoon character, and you're in this old Victorian village, and you can see the village around you as you sit at this campfire, and as you guys discuss which of you at this gathering is actually a werewolf that's been killing the villagers of this village. And it's set up very similar to like a traditional board game. There's certain things that you do, and they're taking turns and basically giving your whole conversation about why you are not the werewolf, and you're trying to convince people. And the person who is a werewolf, it the whole time. And basically, you're trying to lie your ass off so these people don't get rid of you. And from what I understand, it's a very, very fun game. I watched some Let's Plays of it, and that's something that you and I are going to get into. I'm hoping very soon, Brian.
Yeah, I would like that very much. I would very much like to play that game with you and the new Star Trek. What is it called? Bridge Commander.
Yeah, online, yeah.
And I know Gary Diaz is in chat right now, and he loves the VR. I'd like to get him in there too because he's hilarious, and he's also been instructing me on how to hook up a PSVR to a PC and play games that way. Apparently, you can play a lot of games that are meant for the Oculus and the Rift. Yeah, and the Oculus and the Vive with a PSVR, which is great news.
I saw a video on that in my YouTube feed, and I was like, what? Yeah. This would be exciting because there's actually some of those games are free on Steam.
Yeah.
So you don't have to even throw your money down just to see if it works. I'd be interested to see.
And I like money.
Yeah, you're damn right. I need
my
money.
favorite kind of money is the kind that's mine.
Yeah, right. I think that's my preference too. I like money that I make myself and I earn and I get to.
I don't even care who made it. I just like it when it's mine. I have no connection to the earning of said money.
You're damn right.
I just like it goes straight to me. Oh, and Gary says count me in the chat too.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So last week I wanted to address something because I don't know if this is something that's synonymous or something ubiquitous across our viewers, but I got a comment in the video last week of Beastly Thoughts, and someone thought that Robbie was being underrepresented and not given adequate platform to speak his mind. And
all right, let's give him some time here. 5 seconds, go, Robbie. Tell us everything you need to. Okay, your time is up. Yes. Thank you, Robbie.
Time's up. That's what
Does that clear that up for that commenter, you think?
All right, so here we go. Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the input. Yeah.
For clearing the air. We got a little bit of news this week. Like always, Robbie, would you like to get us started with this week's news?
For sure, man. So, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of a light news week, but this is still something that's interesting to me because I still think this movie is never going to happen. But Mark Wahlberg was actually the guy who was supposed to play Nathan Drake, and he's dropped the role for the Uncharted movie, which I didn't see him doing. But
no, that doesn't make sense to me at all.
He'd be a weird fit for that. Yeah, I don't get it. That
doesn't make sense at all. Thank fucking God.
I'm glad he's going to. Yeah.
I like Mark Wahlberg. I got nothing against him, but he doesn't match up. That doesn't match up. And he's not like a range actor. Like this guy is not Daniel Day-Lewis, right? You know what I'm saying? He is like that meathead in Stepdad or Transformers, right? And he's fine at that. Like he does that job. He's a likable dude, and he's good in action movies, and he's kind of funny. but he's no Nathan Drake or, frankly, Han Solo, which was, as far as I'm concerned, what that character is based off of, right?
Absolutely.
This is really good special. News. You need a Nathan Fillion kind of guy.
Absolutely.
For that,
you know what? That's a very good candidate for this role. Nathan Drake has this kind of magnetism that, in my opinion, Mark Wahlberg he's not able to really channel. He's a very charismatic, funny, likable person, and it's a natural thing. And like you said, I don't think Mark Wahlberg possesses the acting chops to convey that convincingly. And to me, he just doesn't embody what Nathan Drake has ever been. So to me, that's good news. Just like hearing them say that Samuel Jackson dropped the role of Joel from The Last of Us, and people go, "Oh no, it just doesn't work. It makes no sense to me." Robbie, would you like to continue with our news? I want to give you 2 this week.
Well, Ellie, drop my motherfucking sawed-off shotgun.
You got that right. Hey, you know what? Now you're making me want him to do the role.
Hey, I mean, yeah. To all the people who are saying I don't get enough time in the spotlight, well, here you go. More of me, whether you like it or not.
I'm sick and goddamn tired of all these motherfucking mold guys running around the motherfucking planet.
Motherfucking mold guys.
I have no idea what that's from.
So Samuel Jackson. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Okay, so since Robbie didn't want to continue, I'll go ahead. In a very controversial move this week, Activision has added supply drops and microtransactions to Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, in addition to already being a very disliked feature of Infinite Warfare.
Good God, wow. Activision. Take a break with Call of Duty. This is just...
fuck with Call of Duty all you want. Keep all your attention on Call of Duty. Don't even look over here at Destiny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, Activision, I don't know what happened to Activision, right? Because they were doing, in my opinion, DLC and microtransactions pretty good. They weren't, I never felt like I was getting racked over the coals by Activision. And a lot of other companies were, hitting those things pretty hard. But they left Call of Duty on its own. I wonder if the sales of the Call of Duty franchise has led to this. You know what I mean?
It has been declining steadily.
Because they're not selling as many copies, they need to boost their income through these microtransactions.
I mean, I don't even know which microtransactions they're including in the game, but as long as it's just cosmetic, I don't see really a problem there.
I think they're selling weapons.
No, they can't do that.
No, in Modern Warfare Remastered, it's mostly just cosmetic stuff, but there are COD points, there are supply drops. So it's they're on a really slippery slope though, very close to going over the edge. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and we're
Here's
hope
what's
that
Destiny. Happen. Here's my prediction for Call of Duty. Right, it's now on the decline for real. Right, we know that. Right, if we can all agree on that, we can move forward with the conversation. It's on the decline.
Absolutely.
It's gonna get to the point where it's uncool to play it. People still play that. COD used to be cool. In 2, 3, 4, maybe as long as 5 years, all of a sudden they're going to reboot it, right? It's going to come back with Modern Warfare. They're just going to call it Modern Warfare, right? And it's going to be just back to the basics, boots on the ground, badass fighting, no microtransactions. It's going to resurrect that series and become the most popular thing again in the world.
Hey, that sounds very reasonable to me. And if and when that happens, I can't wait to do the Beastly Thought show on it. So 4 or 5 years. Okay, you're saying that this steady decline is fuck. What's
that? 500?
No. It'll be about 380.
250, 380, 380. Yeah.
We'll just say 380. It's the size of a very small gun for small hands.
I'm setting a Google reminder.
Yeah. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. Of course, we're going to get a Call of Duty every year, though. So until they announce that they're no longer on the 3-year cycle of release for Call of Duty, it can't really go away.
Yeah.
So it has to be something. I think it will, though. I think it will, right? It's Sledgehammer, unless they come out and knock it out of the park, at some point, Activision's got to start looking at Call of Duty and saying it's not worth the budget we're putting into this year after year. It's not selling the copies.
You know, look at what happened with Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft was all over Assassin's Creed when it was selling, and then it stopped selling, so they took a step back. And I think they'll do that. You know, they can put Sledgehammer on another project, or Treyarch or whoever. You know, Infinity Ward.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited from what I've heard about Sledgehammer's Call of Duty. The rumors are saying it's going to be set in Vietnam during the 80s, which that sounds really cool. I hope that's true because that's different.
Cool.
It does, right?
Cool, man.
We've heard this so many times, though. It's like, you know, at some point we're going to get a boots on the ground, back in the day Call of Duty, set in, you know, a factual war era. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they said the same thing about this Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty, that we were going to get boots on the ground and everybody wants it, and Thunder was talking about it, and it just hasn't happened yet. But you see how this Battlefield 1 resonated with fans. Everybody's tired of the futuristic crap. Mm-hmm. People want something that actually feels realistic rather than guys boosting around the sky and shooting people in the ass. I mean,
especially when you got Titanfall over there doing it so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's another game I haven't played in 2 weeks. Jeez.
Me too. I haven't played that forever.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a year for video games. 2016 was nuts.
It was.
A big YouTuber that I actually followed said that this year was not that great, and I had to completely disagree. There was so many great games that came out this year. I mean, even from the beginning of the year, there were fucking gems coming out.
Yeah.
And at this point, I would probably be honest in saying that I bought more games this year than I have in any other year in my life.
Oh, wow.
I would say if I had to tally it up, there has to have been at least 40 or 50 games I bought this year.
Wow.
I mean, a lot, Briar. On
That's
every platform. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. And I've probably played 6 of them. What do we got next in the news, Robbie?
I only played 1.
You only played 1?
Yeah.
Well, at least the ones that I did play, I did reviews on, so I could feel like I did something. Because, you know, I beat like 4 games this year that I didn't review, and then afterwards I talked to my wife. I was like, I beat that game like 2 weeks. Oh God, it's too fucking late. Now it's not crisp in my memory anymore. So now as I beat games, I try to do a review like a day later. But there was like 4 or 5 games I beat that now don't even count because nobody knows I beat them. They just saw some gameplay on my channel. Yeah, I suck.
No, you're wonderful. Don't worry about it.
I love Canadians. What we got next in the news?
I'm too fucking nice. I gotta stop being so nice. I know.
Agreed. I completely agree.
November's NPD reports that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was the best-selling game of November, narrowly outselling Battlefield 1, which came in second. Surprised?
Really? I am surprised.
I'm surprised.
I am. Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of naysayers about Infinite Warfare, like from the jump. And
how many people bought Infinite Warfare just to get their hands on Modern Warfare Remastered?
A lot.
Most of them.
A lot of people did that.
Right here.
That's what I was saying though. That I thought that would be a huge driving force for Infinite Warfare sales, and more than likely, if Modern Warfare Remastered wasn't included, that Battlefield 1 would have won that. Because to me, a lot of people were super amped for Battlefield 1 from the jump, you know, from the initial release trailer. And Call of Duty, when Infinite Warfare's trailer came out, people weren't really that amped or excited about it. It was the remaster that got people hyped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you too, because like you look at the sales numbers, Battlefield 1 wasn't that far behind Infinite Warfare. I think you're right, because so many people did buy it for Call of Duty 4. Yeah, Battlefield totally would have beat them. Like I think way more people were excited for that.
Well, that's another great thing that Activision can use, you know, in the future to keep their sales up. We can charge an extra $20, throw in a remaster of
Modern Warfare 2 next year.
Modern Warfare 2
game. There you go. Yeah.
And Briar, look at Briar. He's gonna be buying that shit too. Modern Warfare 2 remaster.
I will too.
I love Modern Warfare 2.
So much Modern Warfare 2 when that game came out. I love that game. I would buy that. I hate to say it. I would.
I mean, maybe DICE can start doing the same thing with the Battlefield games.
Can't help it.
Remasters of old Battlefield games. Awesome.
Maybe.
You know, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I actually am pretty surprised that Call of Duty beat it, because from the jump, man, everybody was down on this Call of Duty. You know?
Yeah.
It just and even after I played like the beta, I was like, this is not even as good as Modern Warfare. That was my initial impressions. Not as good as Modern Warfare 3. I'm not excited about it. But it still won. Congratulations, Call of Duty. Please don't send your agents to my home. A new report on the Nintendo Switch says the console will come in just under the Xbox One in terms of power, coming in at around 1 teraplop of performance.
Flop, not plop. Plop is like a poop. What do you mean? What do you mean plop?
1 teraflop.
Oh, now I've messed everything up.
1 teraflop. So
okay, there we go.
Okay, the PS4 is, I believe, 1.4 teraflops, correct?
So 1.8.
Is it 1.8?
Yeah, Xbox One is 1.3.
Okay, well, I was totally off on everything. Fuck me.
No, that's all good.
I love Canadians. So the Nintendo Switch, this thing is going to be powerful enough, I think, at least to compete, especially with it being in handheld form factor. I mean, if you got a small screen, you're not going to need the exact same power as something like the Xbox One or the PS4. Now, when you put it on the big screen, if they're ever able to get more power out of it and make it look a little bit better, it's going to matter to me more then. But to have a game that you could actually have a port of a modern PS4 or Xbox One game on a handheld, it won't look as good. It probably won't run as good, but it might run close enough, as a handheld portion of the game or version of the game. And to me, that's exciting news.
Yeah, it matters to me more how it runs than how it looks. Like, you know what I mean? If they have to downgrade the game a little bit, make it run well. That's what's important to me. As long as it looks visually similar, that's fine to me. Like, right. And there's a lot of things we don't know, right? Like, this is just a rumor. We don't know how much RAM is going to be in the system. We don't know the power of the CPU, the GPU. This is just purely teraflops. Like, this isn't. There's so many other things that we don't even know yet. So
Teraplop.
Teraplop.
It's a plop.
The teraplops. There aren't enough plops in this system. No.
Now look, this is the last show of what year is this? 2016. What are you guys excited about? For me, the thing that I'm looking forward to the most between two things is the Xbox One Scorpio and the Nintendo Switch. And to be totally honest, right now,
and Andromeda.
Personally, and Andromeda, I don't know. I don't know how excited I am about that, Briar. To be totally honest, the little scene that I saw.
I'm hanging up right now.
No, just keep me around. I'll make somebody smile. But anyway, for me, the things that are most exciting for me, at least, are the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One Scorpio, and probably more so the Switch. I'm just excited for the possibilities of what it can be.
Yeah.
The Xbox One Scorpio is going to be a more powerful PlayStation 4 Pro.
It's going to be more of the same, right? Whereas the Switch is something different.
Totally different, and it's going to be a totally different form factor, and it's going to, open up a whole new, avenue for gamers to play their games in a different kind of way, and quite frankly, in a way that a lot of people have gotten away from. I haven't
the concept is brilliant. So
I mean, it's something so.
The concept is brilliant. I agree with you, Robbie.
It's a home console and a portable. It's a hybrid, and it really is incredible to me. I can't wait to see this thing in March.
Even as a person, like, I don't commute anywhere, right? Like, I don't go on the bus, I don't go on the train. But there's still opportunities where, you know what? Like, I'm playing a little of whatever game I want to be playing. Shit, it's a nice day out. I want to do a little play
for a walk
outside.
And play the Switch.
Or you might find yourself in a situation like me where it's bedtime and you walk into your room and your wife is, I'm sorry, Robbie, your wife is laying on the bed next to you and she's watching the fucking Gilmore Girls and you can't look over and say, honey, I love you, but I don't want to watch this shit. So you either grab your iPad or you grab your Nintendo Switch, which would be something possible.
And whip it out, so the Switch, in
bed.
Hey, that's how she got pregnant, guys.
Look out, honey.
Yeah.
The Gilmore Girls got me all excited. Whip out my Switch.
I gotta whip that Switch out for you, baby.
Yeah, man, I could see 100 uses for this thing in my own life, and as long as the games are good, what I'm afraid of is that Nintendo's going to get in their own way, like they have so many times in the past, right? I forgot to mention that I've been playing Super Mario Run on my iPhone, and I really like that game. I think it's a fantastic iPhone game. It perfectly captures, if you like new Super Mario style games, it perfectly captures that on an iPhone. It's what we've been asking for from Nintendo for years, is to start releasing their games on, mobile platforms. Like, it's perfect. Except they did something so stupid in that you can't play it if you're offline.
Huh?
Yeah. So you have to be online to play the game. Which, for the most part, is fine unless you're traveling on a plane or you don't currently have access to, a cell signal. Like if you're in a subway station or if you're a child and you don't have, the cellular connection on your device and you're dad turned off Wi-Fi because his stream is suffering.
Shut up, kids.
Don't know who that would be.
It's just such a bizarre decision. Like I can understand why they did it to combat piracy, but it's come on, man, it's Super Mario. Like, I don't need a online connection to play the single player game. That's bullshit. That's what I'm worried with the Switch. Is like, what fucking ridiculous decisions are they gonna make on this thing?
They're gonna screw it up somehow, right? Like that's what people are saying.
8-digit codes for friend codes, right? I can't just say, Robbie, hook me up with your shoot me a friend request. No, I got to share like this 8-digit code that's like alphanumeric and all my games are now locked to the console. So if I get a new console, I can't play them on the other console. Like if I want one in the office and one in the living room, I got to buy 2 copies of the games. Like that's the kind of shit Nintendo is famous for that just drives me absolutely batty. And if you got kids that are prone to breaking stuff, like it's really expensive.
Yeah, hopefully they find a way to make things more user friendly. When I upgraded my old 3DS to the new 3DS XL, God, it was like 3DS porn trying to get these things to work together. It was insane.
Yeah.
You got to go through so many hoops, and you got to have this tethered, and then you connect this, and then you do and so many questions, and once you do it, you can't go back. And like, God damn it, it shouldn't be this hard. It should just be, your Nintendo ID, your Nintendo password, and just boom, all your stuff.
That's where the games should be locked to. It should be workable more like Sony or Xbox, where my game collection is locked to my ID. So if I change consoles or if I go over a friend's house, even I could download that game and we could play it there. Like that is so much smarter than having it locked to hardware, which is so much more fallible.
Well, hopefully Nintendo doesn't screw up the Switch.
Me too. Yeah, I really hope so.
That would be a switch for Nintendo. So, because they've been screwing up for a long time. Hopefully this thing is what I think it can be, because this can bring Nintendo back, man. It really can. We see games like Skyrim. We see some of these more modern games on the Switch on a portable running and looking as good as
modern games like Skyrim.
I mean, look, I got Skyrim remastered. Look, I got Skyrim remastered. It looks great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I only brought that up because they showed that, during the reveal trailer. But stuff that we see now on the PS4 and Xbox One getting released, Dark Souls 3, stuff like that. We see games that are on PS4 and Xbox One on the Switch. It's going to make people excited because you can take it. Go. It's going to be.
That's a good point. There's been a lot of rumors that From Software is porting Dark Souls 3 to Switch, and they said it's running really well.
Yeah, they did
makes me excited.
It runs well.
Yeah.
So
that's great news.
It's great applications for this thing. Just hopefully they implement it correctly. And
it can run well on the Switch because it doesn't run well on the current gen consoles. It really doesn't. Well, I mean, not all the time. It has some bad frame rate drops though at boss fights.
So did Blood porn.
Blood porn had some pretty rough frame rates too.
Oh, okay. So our last little bit of news is concerning a great movie that I did see Friday night. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, has had a very successful debut. To no one's surprise, it is expected to make $156 million globally on its opening weekend.
Whoa!
That outdoes Captain America: Civil War and Batman v Superman. And the movie is great. I know a lot of you guys have probably seen it. I'm really excited to see what Disney does with this in the future, just continuing on with these annual kind of surprises at the end of the year that everybody's super amped for, because episode 7, once that finally came out and we got a chance to go see it, it was unlike something that we normally get, at the end of the year, especially concerning Star Wars. And with Rogue One, although it was a different type of tale, it was just as exciting, and I think it was very well executed. And if they're able to do this every year, they're going to just continue to clean the clock with these movies. A great film. I'm not going to spoil it, but Briar, I can't wait till you see it so we can talk about it.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I'll definitely see it this week. I want to bring the boys.
Let me just say this: an old school villain from the Star Wars films has an epic scene that just. It made me feel like a kid again, like the very first time seeing this. And I was like, this is the stuff that we never saw in the original films, and how he handles himself. It's just so meaningful. I was sitting next to a guy there was a guy about my dad's age sitting next to me, and he acted more like a kid than I did at this scene. He almost shit himself. He had his kids with him, and he was just going crazy. He's like, well, I can't believe it. And it was really, really exciting. So if you guys haven't seen Rogue One, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a really good film. explains quite a
I'm looking
bit.
forward to it.
It's a Star Wars film, man. Oh, God, they're the best to see in theaters. They're so good. Those movies are magical to me. I love them.
So let me ask you guys a question. This is something that the people viewing can kind of get into for the last few minutes of the show, and you guys let us know what you think. What if you have the perfect Christmas gift? Something that maybe nobody knows about, just our close coven of, gamers on the Beastly Thought Show. What would it be and why? Now, I'll go first because someone who loves me might be watching this episode. I have everything I want. I'm going to get my own 4K TV. I'm going to get my PlayStation Pro. I got my own vehicles and all this crap. I don't really need anything. But the one thing that I want to get that is really weird, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I want a karaoke machine. Because I actually can sing. I can sing pretty well. I can sing.
Prove it.
On some drunken nights, it could be fun.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it.
What do you want me to sing, Brian?
Something Christmassy.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
It was the night before. Anyway, look, a karaoke machine is really all I need. It's
that was
great.
magical.
You're right. Temptations. It was the Temptations the night before Christmas, and I just did it. But I don't really need a lot. I don't need really anything else. I got pretty much everything I want. I have money in the bank. I got clothes. I got shoes. I got games galore. So, the only thing I could ever think of that might be a surprise would be a karaoke machine. Let me ask you guys a question. If there was something that you just on a whim, something that you maybe saw at a store that you might enjoy, you felt like it could actually add some fun to your life, what would it be? And you guys let us know in the comments too. Robbie, you go first. If someone were to buy you something that would surprise you, but something you think you put to good use, what would it be?
That is such a tough question.
Do they sell penis pumps in Canada?
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Robbie is going to be in a stocking stuffer. It's going to be a big stocking. He's turning red.
Christ.
And this is the episode he told his whole family to watch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm sorry. This is the last show of the year. We had to go out with a bang. Bang, bang.
Your information.
Oh, that was a good one.
To go around. Good.
We love you, Robbie.
While Robbie's getting himself together, I like the idea of a 4K TV. But you know what? When people buy me electronics, they're not good at it, right? It's like when I buy a TV, man, there are hours and possibly days of research about which TV is the one that I'm going to spend my money on, right? Mm-hmm. And when somebody just goes to the store, goes to the Best Buy, and just picks out and that doesn't even matter what it is. It's a TV or a CD player or what MP3 player, whatever it is, right? There is that thought isn't there, right? So it's never what I would have gotten. So I almost always return it. If somebody buys me electronics, I almost always return them. So it's really I'm hard to shop for, to be honest with you.
Well, especially now when it comes to 4K TVs, because there's certain 4K TVs that are more compatible with PlayStation Pro and I'm guessing Xbox One Scorpio. Now, I was at BJ's, I was looking at 4K TVs and I was pricing them. This is last week, and I was like, I could grab this one, but does it have HDR? It's so many questions when it comes to this technology. And if you're really into it, you know what to look for versus someone who doesn't. So that would be a nightmare gift.
And I don't know if there's one that's perfect either, because I really like those LG OLED displays. Those things look fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From what I hear is the latency on them, or the input lag on them is terrible. So they might make a really good living room, movie watching experience. Yeah. But if I want to hook up a game to it, it's not going to be an optimal experience. So then maybe you want to get an LCD. And
at Best Buy, they have some amazing looking 4K TVs that are just incredible. But it's the response time. Yeah, exactly. It's just pretty small.
And so this is the last show of the year, Robbie. I didn't want to take away your answer by making you piss your pants. If there was something that you would want, or something that you saw that you could put to good use in your life as maybe a surprise gift, what do you think it would be?
A surprise gift to someone else?
No, to yourself.
For you.
Oh, for myself. I mean, I don't really know. I think the thing I want the most in general right now is a new PC, like a gaming PC. I would absolutely love pretty high end one. But that would be kind of just like it'd just be a nice upgrade. That wouldn't really be like a huge surprise or change my life or something. I don't know.
Well, damn, man, I need to move to Canada. If I was living at home and somebody got me a gaming PC, man, I'd be doing all kinds of favors.
The computer I got right now is pretty good though, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get what you want this year. You got awesome parents.
Like Briar said, whatever he said before, I don't care to repeat it.
Absolutely. So here's to everybody watching the BC Thought Show.
I'm changing my answer to Ghost's answer in chat. It's trampoline.
Oh shit!
That's what I would like.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, that's the best answer, Brian. But it has to come with a camera and a tripod so we can watch you.
I got all that. I'll do a camera so you can watch me, and I'll do a GoPro on my head so you can as I'm falling off of the trampoline, you get a first person perspective of me going through the shed window.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, well, look, before we leave the show today, I want to wish you guys, my co-hosts, my good friends, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We won't be back officially doing the show. I'm sure we'll see each other online and have some chats before then, but we won't be back to greet our fans and our viewers until January 1st, 2017. So firstly, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to everybody who's been watching the show and enjoying the content, thank you all so much for sticking with us for another year. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy to everybody out there. Thank you so much for watching us and being here and taking place in this amazing thing that we call Beastly Thoughts.
And thank you
for the year 2016.
2016 great. And here's to 2017, the years to come. What is so funny?
No GoPro, don't want to see your old ass break a leg, stick to Destiny.
He might have a point, bro. He might have...
But maybe my trampoline days are behind me.
Possibly.
A little bit.
Yo, you know what I also want to see? I want everybody to have an awesome holiday. Whatever that holiday is, have a great one. Spend it with your family. I hope you really have a great time. But I want to see pictures of all the cool loot you got, too. Like, I want to see pics on Twitter. Like, all Beastly, right, that goes to you and Robbie and everybody in chat. I want to see what you guys got. I want to see all that cool stuff.
Absolutely.
I'll show you my nice picture of a penile extender I got for Christmas Day. Yeah.
He knew the proper name. I said a penis pump. So someone's been Googling.
Almost a little too much knowledge about that, right? Almost a little too much knowledge about that.
I know. Yeah. I guess
suspiciously informed about the penile enlargement sector.
It's made by Lico. Obviously, he knows a little something. Way to go, Robbie. Have fun with that thing, my man. Somebody won't be needing a tripod this year.
Oh, that's a good one, too. An Elite controller. That's a good one by M-Robs. Those are nice.
Yeah, I think the trampoline is such a good answer.
Hey, have you guys checked out the Elite controllers for the PlayStation yet?
Yes. There's two of them. I've seen them. I did a story on them, but no, I haven't seen them out in the wild yet. Are they out?
I think the Razer one is out. It's either out or it's being sent out to like YouTubers and Twitch guys.
Pretty soon, yeah. Like this, they said December. So,
well, I'll be interested to see exactly what people think about it. I just bought a new, one of the newer PS4 controllers that came with the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Because my old one's analog nubs they were gone. It looked like they'd been through Fallout or something.
What do you think?
And so, I love it. It's great.
It is. And it's an improvement, right?
Yeah.
You got a red one?
It is. Yeah.
Mine's black.
Hey, man. My whole body's black. Get used to that shit.
That's true, right? And that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Still, though, red would be pretty cool.
It is. See, look. You can't tell where my neck is.
Me neither.
Oh, man. This is some funny shit.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Is that it?
We love you guys. We'll see you 2017. Let us know in the comments what you got for Christmas this year. Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you want for Christmas this year. Let us know in the comments if you got socks, underwear, or sweaters, because that fucking sucks. And whoever sent you that needs to hear from us.
Yeah, for sure.
Socks every year, I swear. Every year.
Man. Socks?
Yep, sucks.
I thought Canadians were nice.
Not these Canadians. No.
Not these
My
Canadians.
grandparents are a bunch of dicks.
Are they French Canadian?
I don't think so. I mean, they might be. That I don't know of.
All right, guys. Now that we've insulted the entire
Canadian
country
fan
of
base.
Canada
Really pissed off my country. Let's end it.
again for the 137th time.
Oh, they're so nice. All you gotta do is apologize, Brian.
I'm sorry, Canada.
Totally fine now.
Let me apologize. I'm sorry to my own country that these jerks have to host with me.
Dude, Robbie just called us jerks.
He is getting older.
The nerve.
I think in 2 or 3 more years, he's going to leave those PG words behind.
Yo,
Steps are coming off.
it's gonna be a lot to handle. We got to get our licks in while we can.
I can't wait till next year when Robbie comes back. By then he'll have used his penis extender. His voice will be all deep. He'll be talking all kind of shit to us. I can't wait. Have a beard longer than Briar's.
Yeah, using a penile extender for the first time. I'll get back to you on that. How that experience goes down.
I don't know exactly what this thing's for, but I use it to baste my turkey. It worked great. I mean, that turkey was moist.